Hello, Gary Rich here from Rich Reviews. Today we're discussing White Boy Rick, a true story starring one of my favourite actors, Matthew McConaughey, a new actor, Richie Merritt, and a girl called Belle Powry, who I watched all the way through the film, and she's actually born in London playing this really hard-edged girl on drugs. Right, what's this film about, girl? I'll tell you what it's about. True story, and it's basically Matthew McConaughey and his 15-year-old son, played by Richie, is basically going around buying up guns, and then they're putting little bits and adding on bits to the gun to make it more expensive to the buyer. And I don't want to give too much away, but the son is in that type of world. Anyway, the FBI or the whatever they are, the CIA, turn up in this shithole which is called Detroit, where they're living in the 1980s, and they say to the father, you need to give us some names of the people you're selling these guns to, or we're going to bang you up. Now he turns it all down. He says no way, but the son's earwigging, listens to what's going on, and then they approach the son about a week later on the street, and he becomes an informant, and they give him a load of drugs to make him look more street sense, and then it all starts to snowball from there. This is a very interesting film. When you watch this, whatever you do, when you get a chance to see it, and make sure you do see it, stay to the very end, because at the end, again, like all true stories, it tells you where they are today, about the history of the case, and where the rest of the family are. There's some great performances in this. I want to talk about Matthew McConaughey. For me now, this guy's gone from the good-looking boy to what I call a really serious actor, a great character actor. He plays a hard man on the streets selling guns, but he's got a sensitive side to him, which I like in this film. He's trying to protect his son. His wife left him years ago, and when you're in Detroit in the 80s, trust me, it was a hard time. And very interesting the way he plays his character. The young boy who I've never seen before, excellent acting from him, really good. The girl, who's his sister, Belle Powry, I'm probably not pronouncing her name correctly, but wow, what a performance. I mean, British actress, young, really something to look at. I mean, really impressed. Then, of course, you know, like all good films, there's supporting cast. Bruce Dern. He seems to be in every film I've been watching since I was a kid. I grew up in the 70s. Acting in the 70s as well, so I've seen a lot of Bruce Dern films. But there's an actress who pops up in this, who's the grandmother, Piper Laurie. Now you may not know that name, but if you've ever seen what I consider to be one of the top 5 horror movies, and I'm not into horror movies at all, called Carrie, she was the mother in Carrie. And you know when she throws the knives, Sissy Spacek, she throws the knives at her. This was the actress, actually. I was in a cinema in Slough watching that, and an idiot behind me, when she was throwing the knives and pinned her mother against the wall, shouted out 180, but that's a different story. But anyway, she's in this, and of course she's getting on like Bruce Dern is. But here's an actor, and I can't believe I'm mentioning this guy again. This guy, I'm not going to tell you the name of him yet, but this is the hardest working British actor living in the UK. This man must go home to his, I know where he lives in Hampstead in London, go home and then go out again and do another thing. And his name is Eddie Marsden, and I know him from Ray Donovan, and he's the brother in that. This boy turns up in everything. He's in this, he's like a drug dealer, whatever, dealing with the black Americans. It's unbelievable the way this guy turns up. I must have done now over 50 reviews. He's in at least 4 of my films, honestly, he's unreal. So anyway, listen, this film. Couple of things I got a little bit angry with. I'm happy with the lighting. I wasn't happy with the lighting. The music, well, on the money. Great, because they use a bit of the 70s soundtrack, then they use the 80s. I like the music. I like the editing. The editing was very good. Direction needed a kick up a couple of times. I always say that, kick up the arse, but it moved where it needed to go. But the main thing about this film is it keeps you watching it. And that's very important. And I love true stories. And I think this film looks like a Channel 4 type film. Having just watched American Animals, which I loved, that had the same sort of feel. Not a big budget, done very well in America, got released on Friday, it's in the top 5, up against all the crap that's out, the Predator and all that. I mean, the fucking Predator. I mean, how many more times are they going to make a film about that bloody thing? I mean, I was the only one in the cinema when Lord of the Rings came out, and I was happy when they found the bloody ring. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, this is a nice little film. Doesn't come out, unfortunately, to December in the UK. What's new? But definitely worth a watch. Now, we're getting busy now with some good films, hopefully coming our way. This is the time of year I'm starting to put my money where my mouth is. I already know of a film called First Man, which is, I think I've told you about, a true story of the the guy that went to the moon, the story about him, Buzz Aldrin and what have you. That's coming out soon. And there's lots coming out. I can go on and on. I don't want to bore you, but there's a lot of good stuff coming. This is the time of year now when all the crap gets put away. The summer's finished. It's like TV, basically. I'm not going to keep going on about The Bodyguard, but that is the biggest watched programme on British TV this year. I'm just going to tell you that when it comes to drama. So anyone thinks they know something different, it's not. Trust me, that's the most watched programme on TV this year. Right, thank you for all the people that keep leaving comments. And as always, you can share this with your friends, subscribe. I would like some more subscribers, but it's not the end of the world. I'm quite happy with the ones I've got, to be honest. I'm not one of these people that needs thousands and thousands of subscribers. If you're listening to what I've got to say, if I can save you £10 going to a cinema or $15, that's all I try to do. This film is a 7 out of 10. That time I gave you a score. And I really like this film. I like true stories anyway, so I'm biased. But the performances in this make this film what it is. So, White Boy Rick, the best title of the year for me. White Boy Rick, what a great title that is. Have a great day. If I see anything else in the week, I'll be your man. As long as it's not the fucking Craze film, we'll be alright. Take care.